Going on, guys? Mobile Carrier News here, and I'm making this video because this is an update on 5G Advance, on where it's headed and how it's going to affect all the three major carriers, Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T. So, if you scroll down here, this article, I'll scroll down in a minute. Basically, there have been more, news about it, and people are more questioning, like, when is it coming? Like, is it here for just one carrier than the other? And I'm here to explain that that's not really the case. So 5G Advance is basically essentially an upgraded version of 5G, but it has better latency than ever before. The speeds are phenomenal. And it's basically the same thing I was talking about, I think, a couple weeks ago, or even several now, that eventually all the carriers, regardless on which what the carriers are using, it could be N20, it could be N25, it could be N77, band 66, whatever. It's all gonna have 5G Advanced. It's gonna be updated, and it's gonna be basically lightning fast 5G, and that's basically what's gonna go on with the carriers. And I'm actually excited about that, but this is not gonna come till 2025. I believe middle or late 2025, but let me scroll down here to give you guys more information. It says, even though 5G plans have started, 5G Advanced is basically the new technology, and unlike the 6G networks, the first smartphone with 5G Advanced support have already hit the store shelves. So it's basically 5.5G. Like I said, an upgraded version of what we have 5G now before we hit on to 6G. It was basically the same thing that happened when Verizon had LTE, and then LTE, I believe, what was that one name? LTE, I think, Advanced. I think that's the name of it, no, it was XLTE. It's basically, it was 4G it was 4.4G, like basically the middle before you hit the next carrier, the next generation of cellular technologies, which is 5G, which we're at right now. So basically, this is the second half, and we're going to be seeing that in 2025, 2026, and 2027. By 2028, we should be fast. We should have fast speed, capacity, and latency everywhere in the United States. I'm talking AT&T will be up to date, Verizon, T-Mobile, everywhere you go. By that time, I should have all three carriers, and I'll just be testing every carrier out. It's it's going to be amazing. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be a lot of comparison, and it's just going to be great. So it says here, what is 5G Advanced, or 5.5G, and what do they need? 5G Advanced, formerly defined as 3GPP, released 18, is an upgrade to existing 5G networks, and it has been initial deployment in some countries. It introduces various optimizations to carry 5G deployments and lays the foundation for future cellular generations like 6G. So it's basically saying it's the second half. It's the second to the final finale before 6G comes around. That's what it's basically saying. And it was basically the same thing when 3G came around. 3G, was here, then 3G, I think all three carriers back in the day, they were doing 3G, and then we're not in the 3GS or something like that, and then they went to LTE, and then LTE came along, and then 4G, and then 4G when 4G was barely getting tested, and they were getting towards the middle, they went to 4G HSPA plus. That's what basically went on, and now we're now at 5G Advanced, and it's coming faster than we think. It's going to be more advanced and more powerful than the existing 5G standalone. And like it says here, LTE Advanced, it's going to be something like that, but it's just going to be 10 times better and faster. And it's basically carrier aggregation, and depending on what device you have, you will have that kind of aggregation. It's aggregation. And if you have anywhere from the 14 Pro like me to the 16, to the 17 coming out next year, you will have really good aggregation, and your speeds will be phenomenal. Now, I personally think when a new device comes out, it whether it be Google, Pixel, Samsung, or iPhone, the network, whatever carrier you have, 5G, it will be fast, but I still think it will take a few months for the carriers to optimize and fix that. But your speeds will still be fast and good regardless. They'll be good. And then it says here, with that in mind, you may be wondering what improvements the 5G Advanced bring to the table, and here's what they'll say. Basically, 5G versus 5G Advanced, what's improved and different. So it says, if we scroll down here, it basically talks about the differences and how fast the speeds will be. This is just a picture here. You guys can just pause the video or take a screenshot. This is basically what a preview of what 5G Advanced will give us compared to now. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. Right now, we get really good speeds. I get speeds anywhere from 200 to 400 in certain areas. Sometimes I hit a solid as a good 1.2 gigs. And in some areas, I think passing somewhere in Irvine, I get 2 gigabytes of download and upload. I think I get like anywhere from 150 to like 300, which is crazy to me in that particular area. But that's basically what the what's talking about here. The difference is it'll be much faster, snappier. The latency won't be bad. It'll be good. And it, like it says here, spanning 2024 to right now to 2026 and beyond. So this year in 2025, give it the next 7 months, you will see an improvement, and you're gonna notice crazier speeds. Your YouTube videos are gonna load up faster. You'll be able to download faster content, faster files, and even a person like me who updates my apps all the time because I always just want to keep everything up to date. It will be faster. It will be as fast or even relatively similar to either from a second to a nanosecond. It's just going to be that fast with 5.5G coming into play with all the 3 carriers. Now it says here you're gonna have faster speeds. No cellular generation update would gain transaction without the bold claim of faster data transfer speeds. The DAG stands true for 5G Advanced as well, with industry players claiming it would fully realize a promise of 10 gigabits download speed. So basically what it's saying, it would compare to 10 gigabits. Now, to me, that's kind of a stretch because we're barely going to hit 2 gigabytes of data from now to 2030. But, like I said, that's a stretch, but 10 gigabytes is insane. But if we can get a start at that, with 2 gigabytes of download and the upload being over 200, we're basically on a win streak here with cellular connectivity and improvement. It says here, Massive MIMO. Massive MIMO was one of 5G's headlining features when it launched. It involves cell towers using dozens of antennas or even more. That is true, and it handled multiple data streams simultaneously, coupled with beamforming to direct these streams precisely when they are needed. The technology allowed sub 6 gigahertz 5G to reach gigabyte speeds in the world. 5G Advanced brings several refinements to Massive MIMO, adding more antennas to improve connection quality, even in crowds areas like stadiums. We've also heard rambling of AI being used to predict traffic patterns and improve signal. So that's another thing. Massive MIMO will gain a massive boost in this. And now that AI is basically here after 4 years, well, they've been working on that AI for a minute, like a long time now. AI is just going to make 5G better. And then 6G is coming along, and then AI is just going to be even massively just overall improved as a network, as data keeps getting transferred, sent in, sent out, download, upload, you name it. Energy efficiency. When flagship smartphones began transitioning away from 4G a few years ago, many users manually turn off 5G because it drained a lot of battery. This is true. This happened to me on my iPhone 12, and there was not a lot of 5G. And even when I got the 14 Pro, there was still a lot of 5G, but I knew 5G would be improved in the future, and I just kept it on. And it says here, smartphone modems have since improved, but 5G Advanced promises a reduced battery drain by allowing the device to ensure lower power status when idled. So basically, it's going to use the most it can when downloading and uploading any files, any data streams, and it will try to not impact your battery. Now, obviously, the device you have, it does get older over time. If you replace the battery, you should be good, but I can see 5G Advanced pulling this kind of stuff off. It's gonna take a while, like I said. Give it 7 months to a year. It still needs overnight, and you know, with AT&T still being at 200 something million pops, Verizon's about to hit 300 million pops, and T-Mobile already at 300 plus million. We're all just waiting for each carrier to get their own speed and their own route figured out for 5G Advanced. So, like I said, give it a time, 6 months to a year. That's what I'm giving it. 2 years, I might be stretching it, but 2 years, around there. 6 months to a year, 2 years if you don't think it's gonna pull through. And then it says here, for improved energy efficiency at the broadcast level, cell towers can intelligently adjust their output powers or sleep when not actively served devices. That's actually really good. That would actually preserve a lot more battery life. It says here, highly precision finding. Thanks again to the technology's multi-antenna approach, 5G Advanced can use signal timing to locate devices in real time. Using centimeter level accuracy could pave the way for 5G's adaptation and logistics and assessment management. So it's basically saying 5G would be better used to locate a device when you're trying to do like a speed test, or you're trying to download say like you're somewhere and you're basically bored and you have like no signal, or the signal's not that great, and you want to download like indoors, like for example my situation when if I'm at a Starbucks or if I'm somewhere indoors. Once 5G Advanced comes to my device and it utilizes and uses 100% of Verizon's 5G ultra wideband network, even though Verizon's indoor usage is not that good, with 5G Advanced and their ultra wideband mixed together, and with obviously AI, it will be able to track my iPhone 14 Pro, but it'll give it better precision, and of course they'll be able to find it even indoors, and my signal will still work, even though it isn't good right now in certain indoor areas. It's gonna get better. Like, that's what Verizon's basically gonna go for. It says here, apart from these highlights, 5G Advanced or 5G or 5.5G also looks to unlock additional mid-band frequencies above 6 gigahertz. So this is actually true. I do believe this is going to happen. And the latest 3G PP releases add support for bands between 7 gigahertz and 24 gigahertz. So expect massive, and I mean massive, improvements to 5G Advanced, guys. Like I said, whether you have these three carriers, doesn't matter if you have Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, you will see improvements. Even though they're using different, technologies for their own 5G, different, antennas, their own equipment, and all that stuff, you will see massive improvements when 5G Advanced is ultimately improved, and we hit a smooth transition to 6G networks. Now, 6G is a whole different thing to talk about. Now it says here, T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T Advanced, or 5.5G networks explained. When commercial 5G Advanced rollouts have transpired yet, China Mobile became the world's first carrier to announce a limited launch of 5G Advanced in March 2024. So basically, China has been testing this with their own carriers, and with Huawei and ZTE. And if they're testing this first to see how they can do, imagine when we start testing it, because that's just going to be insane of the kind of data speeds we can pull off, and we'll just have massive improvements to this, and it's gonna be insane, guys. I'm just curious to see how this will work out. And it says here, T-Mobile's president of technology confirmed that 5G Advanced networks will go online within 2024 across the United States with 5G standalone. So it looks like, because T-Mobile's still leader in 5G, which there's no really any hate to that. They got it first. It's their thing. With their 5G ultra capacity, they're going to start implementing that on their devices via software update. So if you have T-Mobile, look forward to in December, mid-December, update your device. Make sure you're up to the latest update and see if you can actually get 2 gigs. It doesn't matter if it's next to your house, apartment, 30 minutes away from like a shopping plaza, an hour away. Just do speed tests. Just go crazy and just let me know if it hits you. And if there's like a, I think there's like a certain number you got to push, like a 3001 something. It shows you all like the logistics of like what bands you have. If you have 5G standalone and you're getting 2 gigabytes of download to over 100 on upload, you might just have gotten 5G Advanced. You honestly might have gotten it. It says here T-Mobile might be the first carrier. Like I said, that's actually true. And it says we should see other early 5G adaptations or adapters like South Korea embracing 5G Advanced 2025. So even other countries know about the 5G Advanced, and they're going to improve it on their carriers. Guys, 5G Advanced is going to be crazy. I'm honestly curious to see how this will work. And this says, do I need a new phone for 5G Advanced support? So this basically explains what you need. It says only the OPPO Find X7 series supports 5G Advanced for now. They're talking about other different carriers of different countries. And it says, there will be a lot of change in 2025. T-Mobile is, the first one to do this as far as deploying it out soon. So like in a month. And other countries are barely testing it. So 5G Advanced is basically knocking at our door right now, and it's basically here, guys. It's here. Although T-Mobile, the U.S. carriers, the company, they've got it first. They're gonna release it because they've been testing it for quite a while before Verizon. And next it's gonna be AT&T next or Verizon, vice versa. It doesn't matter. And other carriers are basically testing it. So expect 5G Advanced to be here and basically see a whole new way of how you use your device and how fast your network will be compared to how it is now. So let me know what you guys think about this. I know this video was longer, but I had to go into depth and just had to explain this because I said I was going to post this and I did. So here you go. And I'll put the link in the article in the description. So let me know what you guys think about this. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Subscribe for more videos like this, guys, and I'll see you.